A deadline set by the United Nations General Assembly for the full withdrawal of Israel from all illegal settlements in the occupied Palestine ended on Wednesday. The United Nations has been demanding an end to Israel's occupation of Palestinian territories for nearly 6 decades. The first resolution was adopted by the Security Council back in 1967 after the Arab-Israeli War. It called for Israel's withdrawal from the territories it seized, including the West Bank, Gaza and East Jerusalem. In 2016, it declared settlement building a flagrant violation of international law, demanding that Israel immediately and completely cease all settlement activities. In July 2024, the UN's highest court found Israel's occupation of Palestinian territories illegal under international law. 2 months later, the General Assembly overwhelmingly endorsed that opinion. It demanded Israel end its unlawful presence in the occupied territories within 1 year. We're joined by Triestino Mariniello, a law professor at Liverpool John Moores University. He's also legal representative for Gaza victims before the International Criminal Court. He joins us now live from Liverpool. Thank you so much for your time. So, does Israel face any legal consequences for failing to comply with UNGA's demands? And how can international law address such non-compliance?
Well, first of all, many thanks for having me today. The answer here is, unfortunately, no. Israel is not going to face any consequences for not complying, first of all, with the advisory opinion of the International Court of Justice, and then with the resolution of the General Assembly, for a very simple reason. Because under international law, if there is not political will of states to implement this resolution and this decision of the International Court of Justice, so if there is no political will, there can be no consequences, and so in this specific case, no sanctions against the Israeli authorities for continuing to breach international law and this very important resolution. The resolution says clearly that the entire occupation system is unlawful under international law and places clear obligation on Israel, but not only on Israel, also on every single state of the international community. We can clearly say, after more than a year now, that not only Israel has failed to comply, but also all the international community, every single state, because has not complied by not breaking up all its relationship with Israel that may facilitate the occupation itself.
So does the international community's failure to act then undermine the UN's credibility?
Well, the answer is clearly yes. The failure is, first of all, legal, is practical, but it's also moral failure when we are facing a live stream genocide like the one in Gaza, when we are seeing the adoption of the EU plan in the occupied Palestinian territory that will put an end to any contiguity of Palestinian territory. So the failure means, first of all, undermining the credibility and legitimacy of the United Nations system, which was created to protect human rights of every single individual on earth and to prevent the commission that were committed during the Second World War. And this is not happening now once again, in particular in Gaza. It's not happening because the main power resides in the Security Council, where one specific state, the United States, are stopping the Security Council to intervene and to impose any specific sanction measure on Israel.
Triestino, what responsibilities do third-party states have in enforcing international law and UN resolutions? How is it that they can contribute to resolving the Palestinian issue?
Well, first of all, as you clearly said, they have legal obligation intervening when the International Court of Justice and then just a few days ago the UN Commission of Inquiry said that there is an ongoing genocide in Gaza. Every single state has a legal obligation, not political discretion, to intervene. How? By adopting all the measures that international law provides. First of all, sanctions, exactly like they have done in Russia, full arms arms embargo and supporting international courts proceedings. I'm referring in particular to the International Court of Justice and to the proceedings before the International Criminal Court that, as everyone knows, has issued arrest warrants against Netanyahu at Gallant, but still today EU state parties continue to undermine the work of the ICC by saying that they are not going to comply with the decision when they affect Israeli political and military leaders.
Okay, many thanks for your analysis today. Triestino Mariniello, law professor at Liverpool John Moores University.
Don't miss out, get the full picture. Subscribe to Al Jazeera for reliable news and expert insights. Like, share, stay ahead.